Before we start, pause for a second and inhale deeply. If this headline drew you in, it wasn't by coincidence. You didn't wander here randomly. Something within you resonated with this message. Something deep inside you murmured, "Stay, listen. This is meant for you." What follows will have impact, will be truthful, and will carry the sound of heaven guiding your path. My child, unclench your heart, quiet your thoughts. Let every distraction disappear, because heaven is speaking to you directly. And what I am about to reveal will stir a place within you that you've long hidden. Listen closely. You've borne burdens unseen by others. You've harbored silent anxieties concerning your family, particularly regarding your son. Worries you never voiced out loud. Thoughts that whispered in your heart during quiet moments. You tried to dismiss them, but they persisted. You tried to be resilient, yet the load became heavier. Now heaven says, proceed with caution, be aware. Do not underestimate the next words. There's something developing around your son, something profound and unnoticed. Something that has brushed against your soul like a chilly breeze you couldn't understand. You felt it, you sensed it, you knew it. Something was changing even when you couldn't express it. My child, the reason you're present here at this moment is because heaven doesn't want you stumbling unaware through this phase. Something is surfacing, something significant, something you need to be ready for. You notice what you sense isn't merely imagination. It isn't worry. It isn't overthinking. It's the murmur of the divine trying to stir you awake. Your son has been carrying a burden, a struggle, a secret, something he didn't wish to burden you with, something he felt he had to tackle on his own. But pay attention. No fight your child encounters is hidden from heaven. I have witnessed each tear he concealed. I have heard every silent plea he suppressed so you wouldn't witness him shatter. I have watched every moment he stood on the verge of giving up, too scared to ask for aid, too afraid to let you down. My child, this is why the title stated, proceed with caution, as this revelation is not trivial. It is not mundane, and yes, it may bring tears, but not to break you, to prepare you. Heaven is removing the shroud from your eyes. The truth that has been simmering in silence is emerging. There were instances when your child desired to unburden his heart to you. Instances where he nearly shared, but fear tightened his words. Fear of condemnation, fear of dismissal, fear of losing your affection. As his thoughts depicted the burden as excessive, complex, embarrassing, agonizing, it was within him. But heaven declares, your love won't crack, your heart will not falter. You were designated for this moment. You have often pondered why your bond with him felt tense. Why there were days he appeared distant, disengaged, lost in thoughts too weighty for his young spirit. You observed the quiet in his eyes. You saw the sorrow in his grin. You sensed the emptiness he attempted to conceal. You dismissed it, telling yourself it was merely stress, mere growing pains, mere a stage. But you recognized something deeper was unfolding, and that awareness was not human instinct. It was divine guidance. Type 222 to claim it. Now heaven is unveiling the door you tried to disregard. And what emerges through that door may startle you, but it will also liberate you. My child, pay attention. Your son is entering a truthful moment. A moment where everything concealed will come forth. A moment where silence will shatter and what he never uttered will be unveiled. It might hurt. Maybe it hurts. It might hurt your feelings for a bit. Yet listen carefully. This disclosure isn't arriving to wreck your family. It's coming to mend it. For far too long, gloom has attempted to separate him. For far too long, dread has tried to suppress him. For far too long, lies have suggested he is isolated, but heaven declares he won't be alone anymore. You'll grasp what you couldn't comprehend earlier. You'll see what you were destined to perceive. And your affection, your steadfast, unwavering love will be what fosters healing. But before the truth emerges, you need to fortify your soul. You must open your heart. You must prepare your feelings, because what is exposed will call for empathy, patience, and wisdom. This message isn't intended to frighten you. It's to arm you, to moor you, to prepare you. What follows will reshape the bond between you and your son in a way that will resonate for years. This is why heaven brought you here. This is why the book lured you in. This is why your spirit refused to let you swipe away. My child, something is coming and heaven wants you prepared. My child, take deep breaths and accept this. What I'm about to unveil will reach places within you. A heart that's been locked away for too long now. You're entering a moment heaven tailored especially for you, before the hurt, before the fog, before the doubts. This isn't simply a message. It's alignment, timing, divine intervention. Listen carefully. You felt something shifting around your son that made your soul restless even when your mind stayed tranquil. You spotted it in the way he sidestepped certain discussions, in the way his laughter no longer touched his eyes, in the way he grew quieter, withdrawn, heavy, more so than a child should be. You told yourself everything was okay. You tried to reassure your doubtful heart that it was merely life unfolding. But deep down you suspected something greater, something spiritual, emotional, something hidden. And heaven confirms you were correct in feeling it. There are burdens your son has been silently bearing. Burdens he thought only he could bear. Burdens he believed would shatter your heart if ever revealed, so he hid them. He buried them. He smiled through them. But silence, my child, can be more weighty than truth, and his silence has been suffocating him. Your son has journeyed through battles you've never witnessed. He's faced nights of turmoil you've never known. Where he felt tiny, vulnerable, misinterpreted, he met people harmful for his well-being. He heard voices that weakened him, experienced moments that wounded him, made choices he deeply regrets. Type God is good if you love God. Heaven has observed it all. Now heaven says it's time for the truth to emerge. But before the truth surfaces, you must grasp the motivation behind it. Your son didn't hide things from you out of defiance. Not out of disregard, not because he didn't cherish you. Instead, he kept secrets because he adores you too much. He dreaded your disapproval. He feared your reaction. He feared losing the image of himself you held dear. You nurtured him with love. You invested your feelings in him. You sacrificed more than anyone realizes. Sacrifices he hasn't forgotten. That is why he remained quiet, not because he didn't trust you, but because he felt unworthy of the affection you bestowed so freely. Child, listen to me attentively. He has been hurt not due to you, but because life forced him into fights he wasn't equipped for. He strove to be strong, but strength without aid becomes weariness. He tried to hold it together, but his burden grew heavier. He attempted to appear fine, but heaven listened to his distress. Fissures emerging within him, you sensed those fissures as well. Via minor alterations, no one else detected them. His far-off gaze, weary spirit, forced grin, lengthy silences, none of it was random. Higher powers were enabling you to perceive the reality before it fully unfolded. Now pay attention, a moment is approaching quickly where everything he concealed will start rising up. A moment where the truth will be revealed, not through force, but through divine timing. Something will set it off. Dialogue, scenario, emotional breakdown, moment of openness. Any one of these might trigger it. When that moment occurs, recall this message. Remember that higher powers prepared you. Remember that his truth is not intended to harm you. Remember that love will be your greatest defense. Because when the truth surfaces, it may hurt. It may shock you. It may fracture you for a spell, but my child, it will also liberate you and it will free him. He's been harboring guilt that wasn't yours, shame unjustified, fear that didn't belong to him. And darkness has exploited these feelings to keep him separate from the one person whose love could heal him. You, but higher powers say the wall will crumble, the silence will cease. The truth will mend, not hurt. Don't let fear control you when the disclosure happens. Don't let anger outshine love. Don't let bewilderment make you forget the reason for this instant. Your son needs your might now more than anything. Not your perfection, not your certitude, not your solutions. He needs your heart, your endurance, your arms, no text, your unconditional affection. Because no matter what he discloses, no matter what truth emerges, remember this. He is still your child. He is still shielded by heaven. He is still destined for greatness. and you are still the one picked to direct him through this period. You were not selected by chance. You were chosen because heaven saw your power before you noticed your agony. You were chosen because you possess a heart that can forgive, heal, and restore. My child, brace yourself. Something is about to change. And though it may be intense, it will lead to miracle-level healing. This isn't the finale of your son's tale. It's the start of his transition. Type 1111 if you love God, Jesus. My child, listen attentively because we are approaching the core of this disclosure. What you're about to hear demands strength, compassion, and a heart open to divine insight. You have navigated this journey through the portal of consciousness. Now you're entering the chamber where truth resonates. Skyward Realm is urging calm, perseverance to listen deeply, not just with ears, but with soul. As everything unveiling aligns with your duty, your role, and your task as a parent. Hear this now. Your child has been at a crossroads longer than you understand. A silent battle has been waged within him, a struggle between who he desires to be and what he fears he's becoming, a fight between his truth and his silence, a clash between his dreams and his embarrassment. He hides it, he suppresses it. He wears the disguise skillfully. But heaven has witnessed all behind the facade. There were nights he stayed awake, staring at the ceiling, questioning answers his heart wasn't prepared to find. There were instances he revisited decisions in his mind, wishing he could turn back time. There were days he longed to confide in you, to speak truthfully, to rest upon your affection. But the words wouldn't surface. Why? Because he feared shattering your heart. He feared letting down the one who always trusted him. He feared becoming a liability in a world full of expectations. This already feels too burdensome. My child, listen to heaven's guidance. Your son is suffering, not because of you, but because life has been too much for him. He has been trying to shield you while he was the one needing protection, striving to remain strong for you as his own strength waned, trying to maintain a smile when his spirit was silently weeping. But heaven says he can't keep silent anymore. The truth he bears has grown so heavy that it must be revealed, not to inflict pain, but to bring breakthrough in the near future. And take note, you will observe changes. Changes in discussions, in his tone, and how emotions emerge. Heaven is softening his heart. Heaven is preparing his spirit. Heaven is orchestrating the moment when the truth will surface. In that moment, he won't require judgment. He won't need correction. He won't need harsh words. He'll need you. He'll need the security of your presence, the kindness in your tone, the certainty of your unconditional love. For too long, he has carried fears that weren't meant for him. Fears of failure, fears of not being enough, fears of losing your approval, fears of disappointing your hopes. God wants you to grasp something potent. Your child's errors are not who he is. His hardships are not his fate. His confidences are not his tomorrow. This is a time of change, not ruin. A time of awareness, not turmoil. A time of mending, not sorrow, but it will stir strong emotions. It may surprise you. It may unsettle you. It may reawaken old fears and prayers. Yet even in the upheaval, God whispers, "Do not be afraid." This revelation is an answer to your requests. You asked for your child's protection. You asked for his direction. You asked for clarity. You asked for healing within your family. And now God is responding, not with comfort initially, but with truth, because truth is the pathway to healing. There are also people around your child. Type 777 if you believe in God, Jesus. Some who helped him, some who misguided him, some who encouraged him, and some who brought darkness upon him. But God says, I am removing every wrong influence. I am revealing every hidden motive. I am demolishing every plan of the adversary. This is why you felt spiritual discomfort. This is why your heart has been heavy for no discernible reason. This is why your spirit has felt uneasy at unexpected times, because something has stirred. Trying to cling to your son, a burden, a puzzlement, a tug toward the errant path. But your prayers, your tears, your faith, they established a barrier around him that darkness couldn't breach. And now heaven says, your son is returning, back to righteousness, back to mission, back to light. But his return starts with disclosure. The truth needs to emerge. The quiet must shatter. The concealed must be unveiled, not to embarrass him, but to rescue him when he eventually speaks out. When he finally voices up, when he finally allows himself to be sincere, you must be his calm. You must be his foundation. You must be the love that stabilizes him. When his truth shakes him, there will be a moment, a fragile, sacred moment where he will look at you not as an accuser, but as a sanctuary. In that moment, heaven requests you to react not from hurt, but from reason, not from astonishment, but from empathy, not from condemnation, but from comprehension, because your response will script the next episode of his recovery. My child, understand this truth. Your son's disclosure might fracture your heart for a while, but it will mend both your hearts for eternity. My child, now listen attentively with all your heart, from your heart. We've arrived at the final segment of this message, the core, the part that heaven has been readying you for since the very first word. Heaven says, the truth isn't here to shatter your family, it's here to mend your family. The agony you dreaded, the tears you strived to dodge, the burden you felt but couldn't explain, all of it has been guiding you towards a divine instant of recovery. Your son's truth, regardless of its weight, isn't a sign of fault. It's a sign of advancement. It's a sign that heaven is stepping in. It's a sign that generational patterns are being shattered right now. But before the recovery starts, something sacred must happen. Forgive, release, redeem, renew. Your son is approaching a moment where his heart will soften. He will feel the urge to confess, to reveal, to be truthful in a way he hasn't been for a long time. Heaven is working on him softly, steadily, persistently, adjusting his thoughts, stirring his spirit, awakening his consciousness. And when he eventually speaks, when his truth finally spills out, heaven says, don't gaze at him with eyes of suffering. Look at him with eyes of purpose. Due to the fact that this reality isn't about past errors, it's about rectifying present situations. You need to grasp something potent. Your child didn't conceal his difficulties because he didn't care for you. Instead, he hid them out of excessive affection for you. He didn't wish for you to bear his burdens. He didn't want you to experience guilt over what he faced. He didn't want to cloud the light in your eyes. However, heaven sees what he couldn't see. You are not merely a parent, you are his spiritual guardian. You are his sanctuary. You are the heart God entrusted within him. And now heaven is announcing that it's time for both hearts to heal. There are wounds inside him that your love will mend. There are wounds inside you that his honesty will comfort. There are connections between you that truth will reinforce. This juncture isn't the collapse of your family, it's the reconstruction of your family. But remember, enter this moment with grace and kindness in your words, because your response will mold his future more than his errors ever will. Recall this. Truth may prick, but it doesn't destroy what heaven safeguards. Your child's truth isn't a curse. It is a blessing. A key is vital. A key that can unlock healing, shatter generational burdens, demolish spiritual obstacles, and open a new chapter for both of you. My child, pay attention. I see a moment in your near future. A tranquil moment, a discussion that doesn't start loudly but softly. Your son will approach you with uncertainty in his voice, seeking your eyes for safety. His hands may quiver, his heart may race. His words may stumble, not because he fears you, but because the truth he carries has been heavy for so long. And in that moment, heaven requests one thing from you. Choose love. Choose it even if your heart is shaking. Choose it even if your eyes overflow with tears. Choose it even if the truth startles you. Choose it because love mends what truth uncovers. Let your initial reaction be calm. Let your spirit remain stable. Let your words be soothing, because your son doesn't need flawless parents. He needs attentive ones. He needs compassionate ones. He needs ones who see beyond mistakes and into destiny. Now here's a promise. After the truth comes healing. After the tears come peace. After the shaking subsides comes restoration. The gap between you will diminish. Walls that silence constructed will collapse. Chains that fear fortified around will break. Prepare your heart, stand in truth, walk in love, and trust that heaven guides this whole journey. This isn't the end, it's a new beginning. A fresh chapter, a mended bond, a revived family, a testimony rising from the ashes of quietness. Your tears won't be wasted, they'll bear fruit. Your prayers won't go unanswered, they'll find fulfillment. Your love won't fade, it'll endure. Heaven is embracing you. Heaven is safeguarding your child. Heaven is healing your household. My child, you aren't alone, you never have been and never will be. This is your time of breakthrough. This is your son's moment of liberation. And this is your family's hour of divine recovery. Thanks for watching this God message. May God Jesus will grant you abundance in every aspect of your life. Type 222 if you agree.